What's up, Carrots? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
Keith.
I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all know why y'all here. Vernon, black eye. Hit that subscribe button before we give you one. Yeah, it's like, I ain't come here to be insulted.
Insulted and assaulted.
They were here with cheers.
Nah, y'all, hit the subscribe.
We were rooting for you.
Hit the subscribe button. Become a real redeemer today. Also, make sure you guys jump on the Patreon today. I think after this, we should be getting into the 17. Trying to think, what was the name of that again? The Asian Awards joint for 17 for some of the comeback stuff that they had. Yeah, man. If y'all didn't know, Vernon is my bias from 17. I call him like the Leonardo DiCaprio of K-pop.
I mean,
I've never heard you say that.
I've heard you say that.
I'm bitter.
Like numerous times.
I made it a thing.
In fact, that's how you introduced me to him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they got us like Leonardo.
I was always interested to kind of hear what his project was going to sound like because I believe this is a mixtape. I could be wrong. Because he's the rapper of the group, but a lot of 17 members who've been rapping also have been doing vocals and everything too. When he did, 2-1, that was kind of more rock centric, and he also had like a nice rock voice. So I was very interested to see like, are we getting a rap mixtape or what we're going to get? And I haven't really dove into it because I wanted to wait to do this with y'all. So I don't know what this is going to be. This could almost be anything because he has a lot of tools in the tool belt and shit. He's like Batman and shit out here. Shit. Well.
Damn.
Who the fuck hits you? Kill him.
Great effect.
Running around a whole city for someone
Rock.
to look me in my eyes and tell me pretty lies. Teardrops keep blurring up my sight, and right now I'm driving in my car, going so fast, baby, so fast, baby. Oh, 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 oh. Don't leave me in the dark. You said you won't be far. Oh, 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 oh. I can't stand the quiet. Is anyone out there? Is anyone out there? I'm on my worst behavior, don't stop me now. You hate this world, so show me your way out. Wake me up from this nightmare, please. I can't stand this reality. I'm on my worst behavior, how you like me now? Put a muscle on me, I'll spin your mouth. Wake me up from this nightmare, please. I'm scarred bruised with the black eye face. Woke up on the highway, I didn't go home last night.
Shit.
What you know about me? I ain't got nothing. So why keep coming to me? Your innocent eyes just not so bright. Stop wasting your sunshine on me, cause I can tell if it's real or like solitude. I got a couple friends, just me, myself and I. We play fireworks all night. I'm okay, I just let it burn everything around me. Cause you can't save me from my sadness, but don't save me. I'm on my worst behavior, don't stop me now. You hate this world, so show me your way out. Wake me up from this nightmare, please. I can't stand this reality. I'm on my worst behavior, how you like me now? Put a muscle on me, I'll spin your mouth. Wake me up from this nightmare, please. I'm scarred and bruised with the black eye face. Turn on the radio all the way up till your eardrums explode. Let's dance all night long. But if you come too close, I'ma just burn you whole. Turn my back and shut the door. Knock, knock, is there anybody out there?
I'm here.
Jeez.
It's just me or you guys feel angsty as fuck right now?
I feel like I'm back in 2000.
Bro, I really felt that way and shit. I want to
Some 41.
Some 41. I don't want to waste my time because another casualty of society. I never fall in love. You know,
seriously.
Nah, that's really like the vibe.
Sum
And it's
41, Yellow Card,
Yeah.
all those TRL groups.
Oh,
Yeah.
mentioning some.
yeah. You know, man, that's why you're here.
I was there.
visual as well. Nah, very interested because Woozy went rock too when he did Ruby. I want to start the conversation off this way. Anytime anybody in these major groups do solo work, I'm always very interested to see what route they take. Just because, like, Vernon's American. And I say that just because I wondered what market he's gonna attack with this. And we've done our videos about rock and roll and K-pop.
How old is he?
I want to say Vernon is like 24 or 25. I could be wrong. I can fact check that real quick.
So he was born 98. He would have grown up around that TRL, kind of punk rock, punk phase, you know what I mean, with the
24.
Papa Roaches and Sum 41s and, you know what I mean, Blink 182s.
February 18th, 1998. Yeah. But I
What
always...
was all the small things? Was that Blink?
I think it's Blink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Korean American, born in New York. Right. I always wonder, like, what their solo songs are gonna be, what market they're gonna attack, what genre, like, they're gonna, be in and stuff like that. And rock is very interesting to me because we've had multiple videos on here about how rock is kind of underutilized in South Korea, at least at the time when we were talking. Now that we're not as ignorant, we see that JYP actually just kind of cornered the market with rock and roll in the K world and in the J world. But with that being said, I do feel like it's a lot of applications for this track. I feel like this isn't going to click with everybody. You literally would kind of have to be on that type time. And I don't even know if Nas would like something like this because he more so likes heavy. He's not into indie or the garage. This might be way too light for him.
He like more metal.
Yeah, he's going to want something heavier.
This just
something
might
a little
just
bit
to
more
him.
metal.
This might sound like just a kid complaining.
Which is most of indie rock. Honestly, it's just kind of, and I don't like the word like that because I'm imagining someone was like, rap is just blacks complaining. Really, the indie rock is almost just a source.
The word angst is always used. Which
Yeah.
is, if you really try to describe what angst is,
You might be like, it's complaining, or so it's just, and that's just kind of the most basic way of putting it. But I think you do have a point. But when those things are done in a poetic way, I feel like that's all of music. Almost is just taking. Almost all music can be seen as about complaining about something or bitching about. It's like
But
something almost.
It's almost like when it comes to rap, it's more so society has me in this, painting me in this corner. When you come to like punk rap, it's like my mom doesn't understand me. She keeps busting in my room like
Mom, the meatloaf.
But like
I would argue it's a lot more societal aspects in rock too, though.
there are
Yeah,
some, but like I wouldn't necessarily call those like punk groups. So I know Stain does a lot of societal rock, but I wouldn't call them a punk group. You know what I mean? I know Korn does a lot of societal, but I definitely wouldn't call them a punk group. I
You
don't
mean punk specifically?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
you're talking about punk
this is kind of the
specifically.
vein that he was in. I don't know if punk necessarily, and I'm sure it does because Green Day does. Green Day is definitely punk. But as a whole, and you know what I mean, or as a, you know what I mean, as a holistic group or in general, I don't think that they necessarily hit those. I think they're more personal to the person or whatever, like the Cul-de-sac Rage garage group band. You know what I mean? Sort of like those sort of things. I don't think necessarily always hit societal or social problems or issues.
Nah, and I get it. Like I said, if you're more so focusing on like the pop elements of those indie or them garage like bands, then I definitely get it. All that to say that I know everybody may not like click to this. I feel like this is going to be a sound that you might.
Some 41 don't want to waste my time. Yeah, the tragedy of society. They literally talk about societal issues.
Yeah, they did. No, Fat Lip, when they did Fat Lip, they're literally talking about societal issues, though, outside of all that. They do little, nicks and shit in there. Like, my parents are disappointed in me and shit. But they're literally talking about societal issues in there. And I don't never want to, I'm not saying you did that. I don't never corner anything in it as about just talking anything. But the core of that is like you said that, because rock, and if y'all haven't watched our rock video, go watch our rock video. Rock can be, once you change certain cadences and once you change certain elements, so many different rock changes.
Once you change how the instrument is tuned,
it turns into something else in rock.
You can have a rock song and you mistuned your guitars. Now you can have a grunge song, and it's the same song. But grunge also is a nod to not so much the content of the song, but also the sound. And like they call it grunge because nobody could afford a studio, so everything sounded dirty and dusty and untuned and just produced very, I won't say sloppily, but strategically sloppy.
It's where the whole term of garage band and stuff
right.
kind of...
Because everything kind of sound like you at your garage. Because now I kind of want to... Shit, numbers 8, day 2.2 is solid for him.
But as far as views?
Yeah, as far as numbers go and stuff like that, the stuff should be like pretty solid and stuff.
That being said, I don't know how I feel about this track, though. It didn't hit with me. But I definitely... Because, I mean, Sum 41 was hit or miss with me.
I was about to say, I feel like a lot of the pop indie, it's funny, I was going to say pop indie rock, everything is hit or miss with songs. You're either really going to kind of click onto like those songs or you're not going to click onto it. I'm wondering, there's so many questions with the song because I'm wondering how many of his South K fans are supporting this, how many international fans are going to support this, where is this mostly being like, going to be pushed at? Is the rest of the album sound like this? Because I'm assuming if you start off with a rock theme as your title track, then I would assume a mini album is a rock album.
Okay, so it's a mini, not a full. Because I was gonna say because Jack in the Box wasn't a full rock, but we also kind of know him to be an eclectic. We just don't know what we're going to get from Vernon. But see, so this thing presents a lot of questions. So. You have questions from the musical and industry standpoint. I have questions from did he write these lyrics? And
he's one of the main writers for 7
Days. So what is he going through to write these lyrics? You know what I'm saying? Like what's really going on with him to write these lyrics? And like I could probably see him like growing up to this type of music because he was in that Twilight TRL phase, but still nevertheless growing up. So who knows? This might be what he gravitates towards. You. This might be his outlet type music. So I'm curious.
Which is funny because even when you're looking at the little stuff here, so his inspiration and favorite rappers are Drake, T.I., J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. But he admired growing up David Bowie.
Okay.
So maybe that adds a little bit. Actors he likes: Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Johnny Depp.
I wonder why.
All right, Harry Potter fan. Yeah, I know, right? Harry Potter and a Star Wars fan.
He's definitely a Hufflepuff.
Allergic to peanuts.
No comment.
Let's see who was.
Allergic to peanuts.
He appeared in
Man, they just give away everything, don't
Vernon is part of the group MOLA, Make Our Lives Awesome, which has Jimin and Woods in it. And Kino from Pentagon. Okay, so that's decent. Okay, Kino is his homie. Sorry, y'all, doing these little tidbits that I just like see on here. Hold on, I need a little bit more information now because now I want to know what else we get on the album because right now it's only on Apple Music as a solo joint.
Okay, so none of the other tracks, no track list has been dropped yet.
Yeah, well, we know it's a whole mixtape, but like I said, we're just trying to figure out like what the vibe is because it's angsty is the word that's always going to come to mind when you hear this type of stuff. Rebellious and shit. The song's called Black Eye. Like it's just it's as angsty as it kind of can get. No, with that being said, too, like shout out to Hybe too, and Platus in general. For some people, like kill me with them kind of pushing a lot of the 17 solo projects
He
and
is
like
a
solo
Hybe
work
guy.
and everything else.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, this right on Hybe. This right on the Hybe channel and shit. So they Hybe clearly has been doing their thing with everybody, with letting people manage themselves and doing thing and just steering the boat in the right direction. But to go back to my point, and Kurt, I'm gonna let you jump in so you can like get your spill off with this too. It did. I have a lot of questions, but not like in a bad way. It wasn't kind of a thing like how you just like this shit ass. Like who is this for? Like
All right, Jared.
it's more so just like what the album is gonna be about. Who is this pertaining to? I know he wrote it. That ain't no question because I know his pen is already there. He writes almost everything and writes for other members and everything too.
So my next question will be because I mean everybody here is a writer, so we've all written things that necessarily weren't our experiences, but we can empathize. So was this a song empathizing a thought process, or is this his thought process? It may be his darkest moments.
I would assume this is his thought process and darkest moments because he's a rapper before anything. So I would assume he kind of just put whatever to pen and then kind of like went forward. And he's not the first person that we've seen do this. I just had a conversation about Machine Gun Kelly and was talking about how hardcore of a rapper he was too. And then he jumped into the rock lane. And was doing very well too. And I think he started rapping again and shit because he on the track with East G.
Weezy did it for
and stuff like that. So what I mean, we see these transitions often, and I think it more so adds his versatility. That was kind of the biggest takeaway from the J-Hope thing. It was just like, damn, bro was getting more versatile. We already knew, with the melodic stuff or whatever. Yeah, that's all it really is because I've heard Vernon do everything. I've heard him sing. We've heard him rap. You already know 17's body of work when it comes to dancing and everything as well. Adding those rock elements and everything to, their belt is just... And we've heard this too, because we've heard clap and other things. We heard hit with EDM type stuff. We've heard them damn near do gospel music with Snapshoot. So at this point, it just really interested to see what route he was going to do with his body of work. And I'll leave it there and I'll jump back in so that way Kurt can kind of jump in the mix.
No, I agree. I would say the biggest takeaway for me here is certainly the versatility. It's. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of how to word this too, because what was the track 2-1 or something like that you said?
2-1.
2-1. I hadn't heard that, at least to my recollection. So this is the first exposure I'm getting to sort of the rock elements or rock aspects besides Ruby, of course. So this is just the fact that because I'm not too familiar with anyone in 17 as far as like personalities and kind of these other like deeper dive things, and it's something, of course, we want to get much further down the line with because we love and respect them as artists so much as well. But it's
you get 5 seconds of your time, Kurt.
Yeah.
-1. We should have knew.
No, I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing. Like, how do we not figure that out?
That's incredible, honestly.
But it's
I'll
not.
definitely
But you would
listen to
think that would be a
that song later
one-off,
as well.
not necessarily something that a pocket that he would kind of sit in.
Yeah.
Maybe he's seen some success in it and ran with it. But I just wanted to show you that to give you a little bit more context.
Oh, no,
to what we've
absolutely.
seen prior to.
It's like we different here. we take the time. No, but I did like this like a lot, especially for the aspects he's playing in. I do think it's the versatility ultimately that is standing out to me the most, as far as like anytime an artist is able to kind of step out of one genre and able to kind of hop into another one. And it's strange because I know kind of, and I'm not turning this into that kind of tangent or anything, but basically, you know how like if we like and respect artists in a certain particular lane, at least in Western music, it's a lot easier to kind of be critical of them stepping into other genres or anything like that. At least generally it seems to be true kind of as a consensus population wise, but it's just nonetheless I'm a writer first and foremost, I would say, and basically a blank page is a blank page. So whether it's going to be this genre or this genre or this genre, I like the exploration of those things generally. So I always love and respect when artists are able to hop into other pockets and stretch that range and show that versatility as well. So seeing that is definitely, that's why I'm saying that's the biggest takeaway for me at least personally on the track. But I do like the vibe of the song and everything like that. I more so take it into consideration with the context of whatever an EP could be. Because yes, if you're starting out in a place where it's very attention grabbing as far as like the angst and everything like that, then I'm assuming that journey, like if you're starting on this end of the spectrum, then you would have to go on the journey of kind of self-love, self-discovery, those kind of things by the end. And of course, that's only speculation, of course, so I can't say for sure. But nonetheless, if they were to tell like something like that, it would make sense as far as, why are they feeling this way or why are they feeling that way? Like if it was just kind of, more of that story being told perhaps. But nonetheless, just on this specific track itself, one of my favorite lines that was kind of expressed throughout this was probably when he was basically like, "Don't waste your sunshine on me." Mm-hmm. I thought that was a line that definitely showed a lot because it was basically like, you're trying to either get my attention or seemingly trying to make a connection with me, and I got my walls up, like my defense mechanisms or whatever. So basically, I'm like shoving you away or whatever. But it's all because of that mirror that's held up to yourself, where you either don't believe in yourself or don't like yourself or whatever. And then of course you project that onto I hate the world. So I just think a lot of the kind of emotional turmoil that's kind of expressed within everything was really interesting to explore artistically. I'm not sure if he does like feel any of those things personally, or if it's just an outlet to kind of showcase some more of that rock side to his musical catalog. And definitely after hearing even just the short snippets of 2-1, mm-hmm. That's definitely a track I'm going to be listening to a lot as well. Like I don't know if this is a track that I'm going to be listening to as much necessarily, at least on a first listen kind of. It would have to grow on me a little bit just because I don't really find myself listening to that kind of music, at least that often. But 2-1 is definitely much more within that wheelhouse, I would say, for me.
2-1 is a little bit more upbeat than this too, a little bit, which is crazy because
or positive.
And that too, and a little bit maybe more relatable as well. Mm-hmm. Depends.
Depends on the day, man.
Depends on the day. Nah, but
man, holidays are rough.
Yeah, I'm definitely, like I said, on the same page as you and have the same questions as you as well. What I will say though is shout out to Vernon. I'm more so proud of you than anything.
Exactly.
Just because at the end of the day, we talk about pushing the boundaries of K-pop, and we also talk about K-pop sometimes, not us in particular, but sometimes you'll hear people like, oh, it's the same thing kind of just like over and over again. For him to kind of, and I don't want to like make it seem like he's like the savior of K-pop, but for him to kind of almost sound like he wants to rejuvenate the early 2000s as far as like that punk scene.
K-pop was alive and well.
Yeah, it's like we got you. But for him seeming like he wants to like rejuvenate that early like 2000s or late 90s like kind of like punk rock mm-hmm. Thing, I think is like very decent.
And open a new line of music perhaps to anyone who follows 17.
Yeah, and imagine if he's able to like get a type of collab with one of those older groups or something like that, and
Travis
redo
Barker
it
on the drums.
Yeah, Blink 182 or something, feature, a feature or something like that. That'd be major. And he's on Playlist, which is under the umbrella of Hybe, and Hybe has all those Scooter Braun connections now and everything as well. It wouldn't be too hard to like tap certain people to like be on a track with him. Imagine Vernon and Maroon 5. Like, you know what I mean? And those is like, I'm thinking all these God tier like features, just because I feel like his sound and everything and his look would be very much accepted. Let's just call a spade a spade. I can even imagine like the white rock demo girl group, like even girls that like that, like kind of looking at him and doing stuff with it. He's very marketable.
I do well with him and Paramore.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna touch on the lyrics, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know.
That got some carrots' attention.
Nah, real shit.
I think a duet with like maybe him and Paramore, or him and Amy Lee would be.
Oh,
fire.
him and Paramore. You say Amy Lee to like. Oh yeah. Nah, this is just. Imagine we got Adam Levine, Avril Lavigne to come back outside or something.
Imagine Hobie on More with like a collab like this on that kind of rock type time? I mean, just under the umbrella of Hive and everything. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Now you spitting a little.
More
Be on the production. I'm just saying, you might have a rock subunit somewhere.
no, that would be crazy.
Not a
So-
Woozy and Suge produce.
Yeah, hey, shit.
So you could do a more rock remix.
Hey,
I feel like y'all doing shit that's fire.
I was gonna say
Because look, I'm pretty sure you got
bang somewhere like.
no, but we've heard in Hyphen's catalog they got rock elements in there. We've heard TXT's catalog they got rock elements in there. You pull the ones that actually the vocalists who are, or even it doesn't matter even a vocalist. Anybody who wants to do like a rock track,
Even
and
one
put
of
them
those
on a
end
more
of the year
remix.
shows when like the label just kind of features.
Yeah.
something.
Kind of features and it has everything.
I don't know.
That'd be fire.
But yeah, like I said, the big takeaway is I'm more so like proud of him. I feel like this is something that's unique and different. It wasn't just kind of like your standard, I guess, pop song that you get from like some people crossing over, and nothing's wrong with that like that method at all either. I just think that this is more of a risk than anything else, because this may not land well with anybody if no one kind of wants to hear it. But
I think it was a double risk. I'm sorry to cut you off. One, music genre. Two, being so vulnerable in the lyrics.
yeah. Because people could just take this and just be like, huh. But even for him, just with the amount of views and stuff like that so far, like I fuck with that.
Yeah, it's just the willingness and on both, from an artist perspective and also on the label to kind of be willing to let your artists, really experiment and do what they want to do. And then from the artistic side of it, being willing to be so vulnerable, as you had said, on a track and showcase a very different side of yourself. Granted, obviously, 2-1. But just the willingness to kind of be vulnerable and to really go for it. I mean, for lack of a better term, as you had said, I'm honestly incredibly proud, even though I'm not as well like versed in kind of a lot of 17's members, I would say, as far as the backstories and things of that nature, other than the one guide and everything that we had done. But that really is incredible, and that's something that's going to hold for me in anything future that we react to, much like Ruby as well. For any future 17 stuff. So I love how the exploration of the solo things is aiding my journey as well in the group stuff, I would say.
Anything else from there, bro? Yeah, man. Like I said, proud of you, Vernon, and really just proud of 17 in general for taking these steps to do stuff a little bit different than other people are as far as their solo work goes in the K world and just as artists in general. I feel like they are pushing the boundaries of K-pop and also pushing their own boundaries and their own palettes. Continue to keep doing this, and we're going to continue to keep showing love. Carrots, if y'all aren't subscribed to the channel, I don't know what's going on. Y'all just got this fun talk, this 90s and early 2000s talk with us. And some future collabs I feel like that we may be talked into existence. Also, make sure you guys jump on the Patreon. We're literally about to jump into the 17 Asian Awards like showpiece that they did. I can only imagine what's going to be on there. I hope we get some hot on there. But other than that, we love you guys. We're going to holler at y'all.
Take care.
Peace.